Hi, my name is Brent Csutoras with Search Engine Journal. We're here at Pubcon Vegas. I'm here with John Brown, Head of Publisher Communications at Google. It's great to have you with us today. I understand you just got here, so I appreciate you swinging in for me.
Yeah, I literally just got in, so thanks. It's great to be here.
So, Head of Publisher Communications, something that I think people have really wanted for a long time, but still kind of vague on exactly what that is with you. I know it's a new role. What is it exactly is the Head of Publisher Communications?
Sure. So it's really an acknowledgement by Google that we can get better at being transparent about the things that we're doing. We always try to put together clear policies and enforce them evenly. But through surveys and through feedback that we get, there's still a lot of misunderstandings out there. So really we're investing in transparency, and so I'm kind of the embodiment of that.
And what does that actually mean? I know what that means as far as being transparent, but how are you embodying that? Obviously you're speaking tomorrow. That's a part of that, right? Getting out and speaking. Is there any other elements that you guys are working on right now to kind of improve that transparency?
Sure. So first of all, I come from a publisher background. So I built ad networks. I've managed data for over 90 ad networks and publishers. Part of it's a two-way street. So I can bring information that I know back to Google, as well as my relationships with publishers, and bring that feedback back. But in addition to conference attendance, speaking, there's blog posts, there's an educational series I'm doing. I'm trying to put together a series of articles, to really explain kind of the principles behind our policies.
And this would be on the Adsense section of the publication side?
Primarily. Most recently I did an ad mob, started an ad mob series as well, but mostly it's on the Adsense side.
And at a lot of these conferences with you guys, there's a lot of people that like to come up and talk to you. What are some of the issues that people can kind of come up to you and talk about? I mean, if they're having issues with Adsense, can they come up and talk with you about those things, or what do you kind of are looking for people to kind of view your role as?
Sure. Actually, I'm sending a call out tomorrow for feedback. So I really want feedback. I know that the team back in Mountain View wants feedback as well. We're trying our best to do things right for the entire ecosystem. But gathering that feedback from people who are actually living it day to day is really important. And I'm about 10 months out of the publisher game now, so it's good to reconnect and kind of hear what's going on.
Get that feedback and so forth. So, there's going to obviously be a lot of things that, we can't get you to kind of talk about, but is there anything that you can kind of speak to that's coming in the future for AdSense that people should start paying attention to or might be interested in?
Sure. The short answer is 2016 is going to be awesome. More specifically, we're revisiting policy, the enforcement of policy, how we describe it, obviously the transparency. We're taking a look at pretty much everything that we're doing because we really view our role within this ecosystem of users, advertisers, and publishers, and we want to make sure that all sides are treated fairly. And so we're spending a tremendous amount of time on the policy and the enforcement and the engineering side to make that happen.
I think that's really great. I mean, we've kind of seen that over the last couple of years from Google as a whole, is really making that effort to kind of be more direct and more available. So I think that's really good. What are some of the channels that people should pay attention to for some of these announcements? We mentioned the AdSense. Is there a certain URL, certain section for people to find that? Or should they be following your personal social accounts or anything like that? What would be the channels you would recommend?
Sure, great question. So the AdSense blog is a great place to start. If you're currently a publisher, then the AdSense front end or your UI, we should have announcements there as well. Obviously, my Twitter, please follow me. And then
what's your Twitter handle?
It's AdmanJB.
AdmanJB.
Yes.
Nice.
All those things, and then also we're looking at kind of some more interesting ways to kind of blast some of the more interesting things that we're doing as well.
Perfect. I really appreciate you joining us, and I look forward to hearing more about some of the future communication elements you're going to put in.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Kelsey Jones, Executive Editor of Search Engine Journal, and I'm here today with Guy Kawasaki, Chief Evangelist of Canva. Guy, thanks so much for joining us. I know you did a keynote today at Pubcon about personal branding and social media.
Conferences I attended, the speakers were fantastic. The weather here has been amazing. I mean, this location, the hotel.
The thing I'm really liking about the SEJ Summit is the 3 takeaways
Yes.
structure.
Yes.
I'm leaving with way more.
I also like the single session format for conferences.
I agreed to be a speaker here because I think above all else, the quality of people who attend the meeting, something to be said about the fact that you can't just pay to come here. It's by invitation only.
What I've really liked about the speakers is that it's been very well-rounded. We focused on content generation ideas.